Welcome to the latest edition of the Chivalry 2 Player Spotlight Series, where we take a look at some of the community legends of the game. Today we're taking a look at Shy, a bald, highland sword-swinging maniac that has been terrorizing central lobbies for a few years now. Definitely one of the top pub stompers in the game in that region. We sat down with Shy for an interview for his thoughts on Chivalry 2, his upcoming duel tournament, and his takeover of the dueling scene with the unyielding duel yard. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today is a special episode in the Player Spotlight series where we sit down with the Highland Sword purist, Shy. He's my partner in the Unyielding server, managing the duel yard part of it, so we thought it would be fun for you guys to get to know him. Ahead of our first duel tournament, which is going to be on August 9th, 2025, at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is a collaboration with Smile Kitchen, who also interviewed Shy about the duel yard and tournament, so be sure to check out the video after this one. The link is in the pinned comment. And real quick, I do want to ask this first question. I think it's the one that's on everyone's minds. Why are you trying to overthrow my server, Shy? How did that come about? Why are you trying to overthrow the Unyielding?
Hey, man, I've said it from the get-go. Everybody knows my intentions. I want to be the villain of the Shawnee Salami video one day, and what better way to do it than kicking him out of his own Discord?
I think you're well on your way. But jokes aside, it's been a lot of fun getting to know you.
It's been great.
Yeah, what kind of things did you play before Chivalry?
Oh, man, I've been playing video games my entire life. So that's I'm 32 now, so I've been playing video games for 28 years. One of my first memories is playing Resident Evil when I was a little kid on PlayStation. And ever since then, every type of game that you can imagine. But preceding Chivalry directly, at that point, I was maining survival games. So Ark Survival Evolved, Rust, DayZ. I have thousands of hours in all of those games, and they're soul draining, and they're big time sinks, and so I was I'm tired of it. I don't really want to play this type of time sink anymore, so I'm gonna find a new one. And so I latched on to Chivalry.
I was gonna say you play a lot of games that make you really miserable then, because Chivalry 2 will do that to you. Not so much the actual gameplay, but just head games. But I feel like Ark and a lot of those survival type of games have a similar strain they put on you almost.
Yes. Well, kind of a brick wall for it, and I think that's why I do so well with the duel yard and with the admin side of the Unyielding, because I'm kind of conditioned for that type of mindset because of survival game communities and the players themselves, the individuals, and like you said, it's a constant mind game thing, and everybody's always trying to play 4D chess, and it's not just a video game, but it's really a social engineering game at the end of the day. And it is pretty soul draining though, for sure.
We could have a whole episode on just Discord people we deal with from the duel.
Oh my god!
But that's a story for another day. How did you find Chivalry 2 then? So this was your first slasher, I take it? You didn't play Mordau, Chivalry 1?
Yeah. I hadn't played any slashers like that before. I've touched on some different Souls games, but I've never gotten into them like that. And but I found Chivalry through Game Pass. Because I've had Xbox forever, and I just like to scroll through Game Pass, and because Game Pass is actually kind of lit. They got a lot of stuff on there, and I stumbled across Chivalry 2 one day, and I was like, oh, cool, sword fighting game, and then. Yeah, absolutely. I remember when that came out on Game Pass, because before that, it was there was a healthy player base, kind of like now. But when it first came to Xbox, there were so many people on, and a lot of those people still play. I feel like that's where we got a lot of the long-time players, was from when it first came to Game Pass. That was huge. Almost feel like they fumbled it a bit there, but definitely a cool part of Chivalry 2 community history when we got so many people from that. Yeah, for sure. I can only imagine, and I wish that there would have been more of an influx of players that would have found it through Game Pass, because I'm sure it skyrocketed initially, but now at this point in its lifespan, it does feel like things are maybe on the decline. They've had the sales recently, and it was summer and everything, so we've had a big boost in population, but yeah, for sure, yeah, Game Pass, I'm super grateful for it, because I played Ark on it forever, and then I found Shiv, and Shiv is just, as soon as I got into the tutorial and I started seeing all the multiple nuances to how you can play the game, and the different stuff you can do with drags and excels, counters, ripostes, and all that stuff, the kick mechanics, how block works, it was I was instantly in love with it, and I was okay, cool, yeah, this, for sure, my thing.
Yeah, and it feels like you're always like learning something too. Like even like, years into the game, there's stuff I still don't know. Partly because I don't go to the duel server enough.
Yeah.
So usually I try and ask people their favorite like weapons or classes, but you only use one. So why do you like the Highland Sword so much? Like, let me start here. Like, why did you initially start liking the Highland Sword? What made you start using it?
So I hope you don't hate me for this, but there was only one YouTuber that I ever watched for this game, and that was Ziggy Lotta. I looked up Chivalry 2 tutorial. I found his extremely long tutorial. It was like super long. I can't remember how long it is off the top now, but I watched that and I kind of browsed through his catalog a little bit, and he had a Highlands is the Highland Sword still good video, and I'm guessing it was after the nerfs because I'm relatively newer. Like I came along to Chivalry after the Highland Sword reworks and stuff, so I saw his "Is It Still Good" video, and he was just demolishing these dudes, and he hit like a 40 kill streak on. I believe he was playing Aberfell, and he had like 40 kills or 35 kills by the time they got to the tower stage. And I was just, I was just like, Jesus, like that looks insane. It was so slow. That was the big part. Like he's putting up all these numbers, but he's like not throwing like a single XL ever. He's just dragging a bunch of floaty looking like slashes and overheads, and so it just like fundamentally looked like strange to me. Like it's like he's so slow that like people don't know how to react to it, and the weapon hits so hard and it's got such good range, and the counter window looks insane that like I don't know. I was spitting. I saw it and I was just like crazy, big sword go burr. And so yeah, so I finally tried it, and it wasn't an immediate acclimation. It probably took me until like Highland Sword level 20, but after that it was I was locked in. I had already made my decision. Like, yeah, I'm gonna probably play this forever.
I still remember when I saw you like when the central servers were the only ones working, East was like down, and you had the Highland Sword like all the time. So did you go into that with that idea that that was the only thing you were going to use on that account, basically? Like, I'm kind of confused about that whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, like I was saying, because I found it on Game Pass initially, and don't tell anybody this, but, until level 500 on my first account, I played crossbow only. And then for the following, like, couple hundred levels, it was only Highland Sword. And, but I had already made my mind up. Like I said, as soon as I hit, like, around level 20 with the Highland Sword, I was like, okay, I'm probably going to use this forever. So, when I finally transitioned from PC to Xbox, I was like, you know what? Like I've seen a lot of videos of just different video games over the years where creators will do stuff like make pures of like different types of accounts and try to stay true to one theme. Like, and I thought it would be interesting to have that take on a Chivalry account. And it's like I already only play with the Highland Sword anyways, so I'm going to play with only this weapon until this account, for the entirety of its existence. And so that, it's exactly what I did. And so obviously, Highland Sword is not unlocked until level 20 Vanguard. And so I spawned in initially with, I think it's the Battle Axe that you first spawn in on. And I worked that all the way until the Great Sword. And then I never touched another weapon until the Highland Sword, and then as soon as I got the Highland Sword unlocked, that was it. And here I am, and I think my account's like level 1020, and I've never spawned with any other weapon besides a Highland Sword.
That's insane. That's shy for you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Something I like to ask people for this is, how would you describe your own play style?
I'm doing whatever needs to be done. Like if we're speaking strictly on a team objective basis, I primarily, especially if I'm rocking Devastator Vanguard, I'm going for flanks. I like to. A lot of people like to make fun of me. A lot of people get mad at me for the way that I play. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say. But I try to run up from behind and beside my opponents while they're fighting my teammates, and I pick the lowest hanging fruit. And and as soon as I get in danger, I do not hesitate to run away and hide behind my team. And I just rinse and repeat and top the board every game.
And you fire pot people a lot.
And I love catching people on fire. Yeah, I've got I really like to hide in certain places at different choke points, and again let the enemy engage my team and catch myself behind them, and I'll throw a fire pot down oftentimes and kill the entire team. And but my playstyle isn't necessarily exclusive to being a flanker either. You know, sometimes you just really can't run a flank. So when it comes time to frontline, you know, you'll see me up there. I'll be chopping everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like when I picture Shy, I'm picturing someone coming from the flank with the big ass Highland sword and bald head, and you're just getting like massive swings, like slashes, overheads, mostly overheads, honestly.
Mostly overheads,
and, yeah, and you're killing a lot of people, and then you're out of there, and then you like do it again each time. I feel like, and like that's not a bad thing. Like I remember I saw you post on the Facebook group, and I was like, this is the textbook way you would want to play Vanguard Devastator.
Yeah, I mean, so if you just look at the stats page, I mean, it tells you got faster move speed and less HP. Like, why, you know, not faster, right? But your stamina is better, rather. And so, yeah, like, yeah, why would you not?
I don't know. I just think there's like a weird stigma around, like, I don't know, you have to be frontlining and dying all the time. It's a good thing to keep your deaths low. And I'm saying this as someone who dies a lot. So, like, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
So I to touch back on like play style, I do like to immerse myself in and everybody knows it at this point, I'm sure. I like to talk shit, and I like to be an aggressive player. I'm never like super toxic. It's all in good spirit and the fun of the game. Like I don't do anything malicious, but you know, yeah, exactly. Like friendly trash talk, banter, you know. And so I specifically target the best players on the other team. Yes, I will try to backstab you and kill you that way first. But even if you see me coming, like we're fighting, you know, until one of us dies probably. But other than that, if it's just like, you know, like a bunch of like level 150s, like I'm slashing and dashing, bro. I'm gonna kill y'all and get out of there, and y'all can just pick up the pieces.
So something I always do is like kind of the same thing, like go after the other player's top player. It just makes it fun, and it's like there's in a typical like 64 team objective lobby, there's not really a ton of great players like in each match. So if I, like, for example, whenever I saw you, it was like, oh, Shy's in here, let's fucking go. I'm going after him.
Yeah,
if I
sure.
Someone of a similar skill level, a little worse, a little better, like there's not really that many. It sounds condescending, but we're neckbeards, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
We don't power, we just play Chivalry too, so we have a lot of time. So when you see one of those other people, you like to target them. I get that.
I'm going to be the smelliest dude in this lobby. You can get the
fuck out. So what are your favorite maps?
Favorite maps?
Or if you have like one specific one, either one or a few.
My favorite map. What do you think my favorite map? I want to see what you think. What do you think my favorite map would be?
I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. Highland sword.
Trey and Seville, isn't it?
Trey, what?
The bridge. You just swing through everything. I was gonna say you get so many kills there. I don't. Let me think then. Oh no, you only use overheads, so maybe not.
Oh, you see, you're thinking about playstyle. I'll go ahead and tell you. My favorite map is Aberfell. And the reason I said Highland Sword is it's the only map that I know of that has a Highland Sword spawn on it. When you're running from the village to the tower, you can grab it next to that little burial rock, the little headstone.
Okay, that's actually sick, because when the game came out, or when Aberfell came out, that update, that's when the Highland Sword came out. So like whenever I play Aberfell, it's kind of funny. I try and go for a Vanguard video to record because it makes me, I don't know, it's like we keep saying we're neckbeards, but it's true. We're playing this game for a reason. We like that stuff, so I hear you.
It makes me it makes it, and not only that, but it's a good map for the Highland Sword. Like I don't know, I seem to put in like a lot of work with it, and just the fact that a Highland Sword spawns there, super cool to me. Like I don't know, it makes me. I feel like I'm like at home on that map, and then when I get to play as a druid, it's like, you know, I'm in my comfort zone. Like I'm an animal. Like let's do this. Like.
Right. What about favorite objectives then? It doesn't necessarily have to be that map, just your favorite objectives across the maps.
Okay, so my most favorite objective in Chivalry 2 is raising of Askendir when defending the columns. That's my favorite objective in the game.
Why that one?
So anyone with two brain cells is gonna immediately realize that the front pillar and the two side pillars are just not important. So I'll entertain the enemies and keep them off of those pillars for as long as possible while making sure that they don't get on the back pillar behind us. But once it gets down to that back pillar and it's the only pillar remaining, it is an absolute gore fest for anyone that has fire pots and a highland sword. People blindly rush that last pillar in waves, and you throw that fire pot, you're catching like 8 dudes on fire, and then you run up behind them with the highland overhead, and you're getting like ungodly amounts of kills. It's just absolutely insane. I've gotten like 20 kills solo, defending that pillar.
It is actually crazy that you get so many kills with the fire pot. Because, like, I was actually thinking you were gonna say, because you've done. It sticks out twice in my head that you've killed me alongside all my teammates once or twice. Was the Baldwin? What is that called? The town hall, where it's like the King of the Hill objective. I always do throw fire pots in there too. It's actually crazy. That's like a big part of your game right there. Because like a lot of people just think of the fire pot as like, oh, throw it and it's gone. Like maybe I kill one guy, or in my case, burn all my teammates alive. But
Yeah,
you get a lot of those from them. I've seen.
yeah. I mean, I've played a lot of outside of playing survival games. I've played a lot of other like competitive team games, like Overwatch and stuff like that, and getting as much value out of each part of your kit that you can possibly get. That's like really how you take yourself to higher skill ceilings, and so. I'm very, very precise with where I put my fire pots, and I really, I try to save them exclusively for choke points, objectives, and just generally like throwing behind the enemy front line while they're engaging with my team. I try to never waste a fire pot or a throwing mallet for that matter. I'm very, yeah.
I am actually going to write that down for myself after this because I definitely need help with that. Any advice you would give for new players?
Join discord.gg/the unyielding, and then after you get in game, head over to the standalone server list, look at the top of the board for the most populated NA server, and click the unyielding and slide up and come play with us and learn.
That is the quickest way to get better. I don't know if it's the most fun for a brand new player, but if you've been playing for a little bit and you're trying to get to the next level, I would absolutely take that advice seriously because dueling will get you good the fastest, and our server that Shy runs in the duel yard, very welcoming to new players. That basically turned into a plug for our duel yard, but a lot of people that watch the channel, I think, know about it, but I don't think they know like how successful it's been in the recent few months. So like definitely go there if you're trying to get better, because it's basically what my channel is about. That's why me and Shy initially got along so well. It's like our goals align. You want to, if you're a new player, you'll feel welcome. We're not going to gatekeep stuff from you, essentially. So, what is one thing you would change about Chivalry 2?
I would somehow get the IP and take it from Torn Banner and give it to someone better. Yeah,
that's a good answer. No need to elaborate, or I think that.
If not that, then I would get rid of the rock pile next to the pit because I have to ban so many people for that. Other than that, yeah, I mean, tighten up on ghost hits and make the ping better. Make a queue system to get into the servers when they're full. Other than that, I love the core gameplay loop of team objective. More maps would be cool, But like I said, it really comes down to having better developers because they just abandon the game. So,
yeah. You did break character, though, because you want more rock pits so you can ban more people and feed your ego so we can just keep banning people. That's why we have the server.
I forgot, dude. Yeah, I forgot, man. I gotta keep the ban hammer freaking active, man. Yeah.
What keeps you playing Chivalry 2?
I'm pretty good at it, and the unyielding, to be honest. I could still be wrecking things solo, and there'd be like the value of the game that I get from like playing TO, and like I get my little ego fix and whatever, but ultimately the unyielding, I found my community and I kind of found my niche within the community, and through, just getting to know everybody in the game that still exists, and like all the clan owners and stuff, we were able to facilitate a duel yard, and yeah, and especially after that happened, everything just kind of fell into place, and I have more fun now on Shiv, even though I have a lot more headaches to deal with, because it's like I get to kind of shape the game into the experience that I want to play because of the unyielding. So, super grateful for your community, super grateful for all the homies that I've made since then, and it's been dope.
Yeah, good job.
Sure.
Right, that was good
and that's something big that I do want to touch on is for any new players or veteran players that maybe got turned off to the game because of the general atmosphere of the community and top players that you run into often in the dual yard scene. Like Shawnee said, that is why he and I, we have a lot of synergy as an admin team, because we do have similar values, and we don't want to gatekeep things and make people feel unwelcome, like they can't join a server without having random people attack them or be harassed by people that are just better than them, or admin abused and kicked out of a server that when they didn't do anything wrong. So if you do worry about any of those things and you're a new player, you really should slide up, because there's a lot of people there willing to help you, myself included.
and nice people, yeah.
And it's been dope. It's something that's bigger than Chivalry now, and but it makes me love Chivalry 10 times more.
Yeah, so something I do want to glaze shy about, which I don't typically do, is the unyielding has been awesome, but the reason I get along so well with Shy, and the reason you guys will really like him if you join the Discord, is he's probably the first out of the 1,900 people in the Discord that'll tell me flat out, Sean, you're being a fucking idiot. And he'll call me out and be like, no, that's stupid. So, I don't know. It's been a really cool thing to get to know Shy. So I'm just saying that on a personal note, because, like, a lot of people in not just Chivalry 2 are snakes, but this guy is, like, up front. But definitely
thank you, brother.
Worked well for the Discord. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And to the same end, like, I will glaze you as well, and not for being a YouTuber, but you do deserve it. And I'll give you some genuine glazing for the one time. You're a stoic dude, and we balance each other out well. Like, I can be a little bit on the nose, and I'm really by the rules. Not that you're not, but I will enforce them, as needed. And but we balance each other out well, and you're a good dude. And yeah. I mean, you instilled the vibe, and you created the unyielding, and ultimately it turned into something beautiful. It was already great, and we all worked together. We got a great admin team. We got a ton of creative people, and it's awesome. It's I can't even put words on how I feel about the unyielding.
So a big thank you to Shai for sitting down with us. Be sure to check out the tournament this Saturday on August 9th. We'll be streaming the tournament on Shai's YouTube channel and on Smile Kitchen's Twitch channel. All of these things are going to be linked in the pinned comment. Subscribe for future content, guys. I really appreciate you watching. This podcast style of video is a little different. And if you want to see the one we did with who I think is the best player in the game, MF Tinyrick, it's on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one.
I can't even put words on how I feel about the unyielding.
Like a full kiss right now.
We should fucking kiss, get down east in here, get Smile, get everybody, brother.